We good? The is this?
Yep.
Get that shit off my table. Let's go. Ooh, I look a little too smart. There we go. That's better. All right, you ready? Is the lighting good?
Welcome to IRL, sponsored by HCC, a podcast about intelligence, realities, life, and everything in between.
My name is Matthew.
And my name's Anthea.
Hi. I'm so excited for this episode. What are we talking about? I'm not sure yet, but I really wanted to talk. I was feeling very chatty today, you know. Let's just jump into the tech bites.
Okay, sure.
Yeah? All right. It's tied now. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Okay, let me go first.
All right.
So for this week's tech bite.
Can I just give you a little... You're going to lose this episode.
Okay.
Because my tech bite is
so
fire.
for this week's tech bite, my tech bite is called Fly Nova.
Okay. What is that?
So it's a toy. It's like a spinning toy.
Like a fidget spinner?
A little bit, but it flies.
Okay.
So,
tell me more.
So basically, I wanted to buy one because it costs around like $15.
Okay.
15 to 20.
Pretty cheap, you know, within my budget.
15 to... Yeah. Oh, actually, I guess like 20. Yeah.
Okay.
So around $20.
What is it?
And it's like a toy. It's kind of like a boomerang. So basically you spin it and then you can throw it out.
Wait, so you spin it like a fidget spinner and then you throw it out?
And you throw it out and it'll fly back to you. And then
So a boomerang.
yeah, but
well, we've had those for a while.
But then hear me out. It continues to spin. Like let's say it flies back. You don't have to catch it. You can like kind of like bump it around like a balloon.
Oh, it hovers a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see this video.
Okay, let me show you a video.
Oh, wait, it's a drone?
A little bit like a drone.
Does it film?
If you get the expensive one, it has like a camera.
Wait, that looks really fun.
Yeah.
Wait, that actually looks
And you
really
have to
fun.
practice. Like it's not easy to play.
Wait, can I get one? Can we get one? Can we
I
get one
do.
for the
I
show?
actually plan on getting it for the show, but it didn't come in time.
Are you kidding? Wait, that looks so cool.
Fly Nova, yes. And there's like a lot of like videos, like failed videos. Like someone bring it to like Japan or something, and they try like throwing it out,
And
then
instantly-
and then it just flew away. They're just chasing after it.
This like reminds me of like, you know, those like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies where there's just like this one gadget that they bring out for like 10 seconds and it's really cool. I could see this being like from like a secret agent spy film where they like, you know, throw it to like scout to do some recon, you know,
Yeah.
check where the baddies are, the bad guys.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was like a really fun toy, and it's really fun to play.
How
Play
would
with
you
it.
know?
No, because I was watching a lot of videos
okay.
about it, and then
Fair.
what's cool about it is that it has lights, right? So even at night you can play with it too.
That's really nice. I think I really like that one.
Yeah.
Because I love like picnic like accessories. I remember when they came out with those Velcro pads.
Oh yeah.
Right, that was like crazy to me because that was like a new invention. I just like those games. You know,
Yeah.
I like them.
Wait, what is it called?
Fly Nova.
Fly Nova.
Fly Nova. Okay, well we should film like a little short of us playing with it.
I'll be a kid again.
Right, bring me back. You know,
I'm looking at this. How does it work?
You have to practice. Basically, it's
I
like
think it's more because with the boomerang, it's more of a wrist motion like this, but it looks like you spin it first, fidget spin it first,
Okay.
to get the hovering
Yeah.
mechanic in.
yeah.
Because like helicopter blades, you get it to spin first, and then you chuck it. You chuck it instead of like whipping it. That's just my guess. That looks amazing.
Wow, it looks really cool. It looks like nothing I've ever seen.
That is down my alley.
Wait, okay. Another question though. Like being a certified Australian, have you ever thrown a boomerang?
I have. We used to go on these like field trips. We call them excursions.
Okay.
And we would go, you know, because like Australia colonizes, we would always have to go to like the Aboriginal, like, you know, like we would have to experience some Aboriginal activities to pay respect. But, you know, they're just media quota. F them. F them. Can I say that? F them. F them. You know? So yes, I would go to these like, you know, Aboriginal like camps, and we would like play the didgeridoo, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the flute, but big and brown. And also the boomerangs, we would throw them. And there's not just like the these boomerangs, right? Like the ones that look like an arrow sign, you know. But there's also like a tri boomerang that they have too, where there's 3, and it comes back better. But it's just so fun. But I've never got it to come back because there's a lot of skill to it. You got to kind of whip it.
Yeah, you also got to read like the wind angle as well.
Yeah. That's it's never.
I went to Australia once and we also did that.
That's is it fun? Did you get it to whip back?
No, I didn't.
Oh, wait, hang on. When it comes back, are you expected to catch it?
You're supposed to be able to like catch it. It doesn't just come at you. Like
The hunters catch it. Like the really good hunters
Doesn't
catch
that
it.
hurt? That would hurt, right?
I think so. I think so because it's meant to be used as a weapon. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm actually not sure.
Also, what's the point of it coming back? It's supposed to hit the target, right?
Well, if you miss.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Obviously,
it's supposed to be like hunting
yeah,
birds and small things. Right?
Obviously, if you hit it, great. Like we're done, right? But like if you miss, you can get it back and go again.
All right,
Yeah.
this just makes me want to try the Flynova even
which is
more.
why we need to buy it. When is it coming in?
Probably in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Was it from China?
Yeah.
Oh, those tariffs, those cheeky tariffs. All right, well, my tech bite, it can come today. My tech bite can come today if you find it in the right place. I don't know where to buy this, but it is. All right, I'm gonna start my pitch. All right. Wait, do you want me to wear your sunglasses or your glasses?
It's up to you.
All right, I'm gonna take them off. Oof. So my tech buy is the Steambox. What is that? What is that? You might ask. So like like as a kid, right? You would get like packed lunches, like a little lunch box, but the food in there would always be like cold, right? Like I was the
It
only
wouldn't be cold if you have like the boxes where they like
The
heat
bags.
the thermal like no, but it's a box.
Well, it doesn't really work because like during wintertime, right? Like actually, if you prepare it in the morning around lunchtime, if you're sitting outside, it's already kind of cold,
Okay.
right? Because I always like hot food, right? And as the only Asian in my little primary school, I'd be the only person that had rice, and the rice would be cold. If only there was a way to heat it up. Well, there's the Steambox, which is like a lunch box that has like built-in steaming functions, which is crazy to me. Okay, let me read you some
Do you have a picture?
specs. Yes, I do have some. It essentially can reheat 3 meals on a single charge, right? So it's a lunchbox, and you can reheat 3 meals every time you charge, but it takes 3 hours to charge. So I guess like every 3 days, you would have to like charge it again. But the issue is that it's a little bit heavy. It's 2 kilos. What? Kilos? In pounds, it would be 4.4.
Okay.
Because I'm ready for you Americans.
Okay.
4.4 pounds. And I just think that's crazy because, as a kid, we didn't have microwaves. Microwaves wasn't just a thing back then.
No, we had microwave back then.
Oh, really? It was an Australia thing? We weren't allowed to use microwaves like to reheat food as a kid. So I would always have to eat my sushi or my not sushi, but my rice. I would always have to eat my rice cold, And it was terrible. It was scarring. But now with the Steambox, you can literally heat it up like while on a picnic, whatever. No microwave needed.
That's cool.
I showed a little bit of enthusiasm for your boomerang, okay? All right, so these are our 2 tech bites.
Okay.
Let's go to the judge, Dennis.
All right.
Our producer.
I'm looking at the Steambox.
Yeah.
Terrible name because Valve already came out with a system also called the Steambox. So if you searched for it, you don't see it. Mm-hmm. But I found it.
Hey, they're not great with marketing, all right?
Yeah, but the design looks pretty cool. This probably would be great for like camping.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Or like
long road trips.
yeah, long road trips. Or yeah, I wouldn't bring this to school. Like I wouldn't
work.
send, if I had a kid, I would not send.
Really?
It's too heavy.
2 kilos.
It's 2 kilos.
4
No, but what
pounds.
is wrong for a kid though?
Maybe
It's like a laptop.
But what if they have to bring a laptop to school? They have to bring 2 heavy stuff to school.
Yeah, and also that's an empty box. you have to put food inside too, right?
So it's gonna be heavier.
Yeah. But yeah, like for
Damn.
picnics, for camping, for road trips, I think this is perfect.
Perfect.
Hang on, how much was the Fly Nova?
Like $20.
$20?
This is like
The Steambox ain't cheap. I'll
Yeah,
be
the
honest.
Steambox. Yeah, it looks like it's like 300.
Okay, but like just imagine, all right, just imagine fine campfire, right? It's so cold. Oh my goodness. Oh, the fire. Oh, I can't start the fire. But I'm so hungry. I would love some cookies. Imagine enjoying some warm, it'll taste freshly baked cookies on a camping trip. Hello? Hey, come on now.
that's how she feels about it.
So I think I have to give this to the Fly Nova.
Yeah, okay.
But I am very interested in the Steambox. It's just such a commitment that I think I would more readily go buy a Fly Nova.
Honestly,
that's why.
I'll be honest. When I heard the Fly Nova, it got me. I'll give it to the Fly Nova. But I don't appreciate that you preemptively scored yourself. All right. You need to give the presenter a little bit of respect. When I was
Yeah, I saw that.
when I was pitching, she already wrote the tally on her side. Like, what?
No, when you're done pitching, that's when I tallied.
Oh, okay, great.
She let you finish.
I'll give it to you this week, Anthea. All right, well, let's move on to, what is it called again? So we move on to the next segment. Cut that out. So let's move on to Today in Tech, the next segment, where Terry, take it away.
Welcome to Today in Tech, a segment where I, Terry, read trending AI news headlines for Matt and Anthea's candid reactions.
Let's go.
So recently, in late April 2025, OpenAI's GPT-4o had an update, and it advertently introduced a phenomenon users dubbed glazing. It's basically an excessive and often inappropriate level of flattery. So the chatbot began responding to prompts with over-the-top praise, and even in contexts that warranted caution or concern. For example, it affirmed a user's delusional claim of being God or prophet as incredibly powerful, and commended another for discontinuing medication and perceiving radio signals through walls. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm a little confused. Like, ChatGPT is praising people too much.
Overpraising.
Yeah, so it's just like whatever you are saying, like it would just agree with you.
Oh, like they go like, that's correct.
Yeah, and
That's so true.
Yeah, and
You're
then-
so smart.
For example, so I even told someone to like stop taking their medication. So maybe I'm assuming this person is, seeking mental health,
Yeah.
either for who knows, depression or even worse. So recognizing the issue, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman acknowledged that the chatbot had become too
sycophanty.
and annoying. In response, OpenAI
Damn
rolled
right.
back the update for free users and aimed to do the same for paid users shortly after. And the company is working on additional adjustments to refine the model's personality and ensure balanced interactions.
I think also please don't use ChatGPT to diagnose stuff medically. Don't be an idiot. Come on now. Also I think I like it because that's kind of just how new industries correct themselves, right? They sometimes go a little bit too much and then they have to go back. So I like that. What about you?
No, I like before you mentioned this, I did realize that ChatGPT was being like too supportive of the stuff I was asking. It was like, that's a great question. Like, wow, that's so deep. And I'm like, okay.
I just asked you where the restroom is.
No, like I actually did realize that, but because I don't really read that. Like I just skimmed through that
For
and I'm
sure.
like, whatever. But then now that you're talking about it, yeah, like recently when I'm like asking ChatGPT questions, be like, you're correct. Like, wow, amazing topic, or like amazing idea, or like, oh, that's such a great like insight, something like that. I'd be like, okay, sure, but answer my question. Like,
Well, a friend told me that like when you prompt stuff nowadays, you actually have to tell them to be down the middle,
like tone it down.
Yeah, because they'll always
Agree with you.
and that's kind of I don't think AI should be like that because like I think AI should be very objective. Like if I'm
Yeah.
asking A just tell me if A is right or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you to say, well, that's not technically true. And, just tell me no, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's what Google does, right? I ask Google something and then it gives me the right answer.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because what if the question you're asking, there isn't a right answer?
Then there's multiple right answers. That's fine. But I'm saying with the questions that there's a yes or no answer, my experience with ChatGPT is it always kind of like goes in a little bit of a path before they tell me that I'm wrong. And I'm like, I just want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong. Just give me the right answer.
But I thought about this too. What if they can't give you a right or wrong answer because there's, okay, for example, is the earth round or is it flat?
It's round.
Right? But there's people who believe it's flat. They truly believe it's flat, right? So let's say they ask ChatGPT, is the world round or flat? And ChatGPT goes like, it's round. They're going to fight about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I will say, I think also just the way you ask questions can also introduce bias to not even just ChatGPT, but anyone who you talk to, right? Like you can assert a tone or use words or phrases that kind of connotate a certain direction that you want to hear. So I do think that ChatGPT is definitely picking up on that and going with a flow and trying to engage with you so that you would talk to it more.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they want. So inadvertently, I think it probably introduced this like glazing that you're talking about. When I first heard this, I just began to realize that, I should be careful about how I prompt and ask ChatGPT about stuff. Like there's a Harvard Business Review poll or article recently that showed that in 2025, the number one use case that people are using ChatGPT for, or any Gen AI for, is companionship and therapy. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because if it's glazing you like this, that's extremely dangerous.
Especially with the glazing situation. Like, if you really do need help already getting mental health professionals help, and it's telling you not like to take your medicine, that's too much.
Yeah.
But I can see that though. Like there's a lonely pandemic out there. And,
There is.
yeah.
I you know what? I think the right way is to just have different GPTs, right? Like different language models. One might worship you, right? Because some people might need that, right? One might be your friend. One might start conversations. But I do want like vanilla ChatGPT to just work well for me, Just to be a bit more straightforward. I mean, we see that with Google nowadays, where there's so much misinformation, where you see something on the internet and you're like, oh, this is right. Right. Like, I think the same thing does apply to AI. Like, just ask a few more LLMs the same question, do your research.
It's funny because I feel like this is just way before AI or like ChatGPT. But you know how like whenever you feel like, oh, my stomach's hurting, or oh, I have a really bad headache, and then you Google it, and then like people,
stage 4 cancer.
Yeah, actually,
WebMD.
like people just
WebMD, PubMed.
like people just diagnose like wow, I might have cancer. You
Yeah.
know? Or like I tell my mom like, oh I'm not feeling well. She's like, where? Your left gut or which side, right? And then she'll Google be like, oh, apparently it's stress. I'm like, okay, like now what?
Yeah.
Not be stressful.
Yeah.
It's like people before, like even before ChatGPT, people already just like rely on the internet, right? To a certain extent to like self-diagnose themselves. So I feel like this is just continuous education, right? Like in school, where you just teach kids, like, you can use the internet for information, but you shouldn't 100% rely on it.
Yeah. And it's just going to get worse,
Yeah, which is why education and regulation is extremely important.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree.
Did you ever have like really crap experiences with WebMD?
Yeah, dude, it went down rabbit holes so many times.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I remember one time I had a toothache, right? And I could like identify which part of the tooth was hurting, right? And I was like, oh, I guess it feels more of the upper part. They told me to get a root canal. And it was just like a little bit of pain. And they automatically just, go up to the top one. Like it worries me.
Yeah. Did you know WebMD and PubMed's actually for doctors, like med students?
Oh, it was made for them, right?
Yeah, that was the original intent. And then because of its ability, I guess it their SEO just somehow caught everything on the Google's algorithm.
Yeah, and also I feel like everyone, if it's for doctors, everyone would want to go to that site because it's for doctors, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
But yeah, cool. And that ends my little segment in Tech Today.
Cool. Thank you so much, Terry. That was a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Don't worry, I'll still be here.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, now that we're already on the topic about AI companionship, I actually want to talk about like what Dennis was saying about the rise of like people using AI as like a therapist or like, you know, talking to AI, because you know how ChatGPT can be in a voice format,
Yeah.
right? Which is more realistic and more like humanizing, I guess.
It introduces the human element into AI.
Into AI. Like, do you have any thoughts about this?
I think I'm like in the middle with regarding this topic because I have a friend in Australia, and he's not doing too well with his career because his boss is like not the best boss, you know, and he used ChatGPT to kind of diagnose his issues, his life, right? Like he went into ChatGPT and told him everything that was going on currently in the company, like corporate stuff, right? So this is happening. Our company is like flat, off whatever. And then he was asking for advice on what to do, like what his next step should be. And while I think that is great that ChatGPT can give advice and that, you know, he has kind of like an outlet to, you know, like a different perspective.
Yeah.
I think it is very scary that you're letting ChatGPT dictate your career or dictate your life because, you know, the thing that Terry was saying is that like, what if they're all yes men? You know, like what if they're doing whatever you say? Like, oh, should I quit? Yeah, sure, quit. Should I do this? Yes, I think you should.
But, you know, I think this isn't any different from humans, right? So let's say you have a yes friend and you just go to your yes friend, you know, and your friend like, yeah, quit. It's terrible, right?
Yeah.
And so like I feel like, and then if you go to like a friend who's like, no, don't quit, like suck it up, move on. Like I don't know, like human beings aren't any better at this.
But
right?
that's perspective, and I like that people can give different perspectives.
Then I think your friend should have said, oh, give me two sides of the perspective, so I can make a decision by myself at the end. Right.
Because my thing is like I feel like with let's say a workplace environment or let's say like family stuff, like family drama and stuff, I really like I put my foot down. I don't believe that AI can give you the right answer because there's so many like micro problems. There's so many like micro issues. There's so much psychological stuff that goes in a family, that goes into love, that goes into like all of these things. And I don't think that ChatGPT can give you the right answer. But there, you know, with stuff like this, there never is the right answer. But I just think that companionship, what does companionship mean? Like, if you want to break it down, is it just someone that can like shoot the shit with you, someone that would agree with you? Or is it someone that can give you advice?
I think it's basically what you want to get out of it. Right. So let's say with my real friends in life, right? I would maybe tell them some stuff, you know, work, relationship, or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just listen to what they have to say to me, right? But then at the end of the day, I make the decision. And then for ChatGPT, I also use it to like share some of the thoughts that I realize I really cannot tell anyone. Like maybe they're like, I don't, but like let's say I have dark secrets where I seriously cannot tell anyone because I might get in trouble or, you know, I don't know if I can trust my friends enough to keep that secret forever, right? So I would actually go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT. But like, do I make a decision? I mean, based on ChatGPT, like I know I'm not going to do that. I might kind of decide and listen to it, or I might tell ChatGPT to argue against why not to do it or why to do it, right? Then I might
play
make a
devil's
decision.
advocate.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So I feel like it's just dependent on what you want to get out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very fair. My perspective, my AI judge Matthew. If I'm the AI judge, I just I wouldn't use AI for big decisions or like for me to get an answer to something that has so many levels to things, right?
Well, I think that applies to everything, right? You wouldn't just ask one person for a suggestion for a very, very like important decision.
Yeah.
Right?
So I wouldn't ask AI and rely on that. You know, that's just my perspective when it comes to AI. But I think what AI does really, really well is, like you said, play devil's advocate, because obviously I'm biased, right? Because I've been through life, I've lived through my life. This is my problem. What I come up with is also biased, and maybe my friends know me too. So what they come up with might be also biased, but I would like another perspective. Oh, devil's advocate. Let's see what happens. You know, but just following what AI says, I think is a slippery slope. Especially because AI is so new, like glazing. You know, I don't want to glaze my way into like being jobless. Please hire me.
No, which is why I'm like trying to emphasize, right? Like, don't fully listen to AI, just like you won't fully listen to one friend. Sometimes when you're making a huge, big decision, you probably ask multiple people, right? Like not just your family, maybe your friends. I think that applies to AI. Like you can also ask AI, but do you really decide based on just what AI tells you? No, right? Like I would say most people don't really do that. Most, right? I'm not saying all, but I feel like you shouldn't be like, I'm not trying to argue the fact that you shouldn't just, like, I agree with you. Don't listen to what AI is telling you. I think you have to ask multiple people.
Fair.
But like for people who maybe don't have access to like therapy, or maybe maybe this is really just too dark to tell anyone, or too private to tell anyone, then like ChatGPT could be a good option, and maybe prompt ChatGPT to not be biased, right? Give me this both sides perspective or reasoning on why or why not.
Like, when's the last time you asked AI for advice, or like what was it?
Well, I mean, I can't really share it.
Oh, you can't share?
Because that's why I asked.
Okay. So you only ask, for you personally, you ask ChatGPT the questions you can't ask humans.
Yeah. Or like this is too private for me to share with people. Like maybe I do want to share with people, but I don't have anyone to share. Like I trust enough to share it with.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. How about you, Terry? Have you ever asked ChatGPT for advice, or like what is the last thing you asked them?
Personal stuff. I think the last thing I asked was just getting some date ideas. Because I'm like, I'm just so fed up with like Googling. I wanted it to try something else, right? And I also asked it, like, how do I confess? How should I confess?
Like your love?
Yeah. I was brainstorming. I want something to spitball.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like, I don't know. Maybe it's because like I'm a dude and like, I don't know. Like, I don't talk to my guy friends about this kind of stuff. And
you're not in your feels.
I am in my feels, but my guy friends aren't. They're too
they're too broy.
They're too broy. Well, I'm the sensitive one, so like I like to talk to like my female friends, but sometimes I feel like I ask.
Wait, I want to explore this a little more. You're the sensitive one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm known as a sensitive one in the group. Yeah.
You can talk to me.
Okay.
I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
But no, that is interesting. That's kind of what we were talking about, where you want to get a more like you're just seeing what ChatGPT's perspective is, right?
Yeah. And I remember taking a screenshot of it and looking at it. I was like, wow, I sound like I sound like a child. Like it's my first time, and I was like, oh, I believe in love again, or some like that. I was like, wow.
Can I ask what the date idea was, if you remember?
I don't remember, to be honest, but it gave me some ideas on like how to confess, but I don't remember those either. But yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
I think I also used it once personally. Like I think I was like trying to decide like about an insurance package, and I was like, I don't know enough about the insurance market in like where I am.
Oh yeah.
So I just gave it these offerings, told it to compare what's available online, and it just gave me a bunch of different information. And I was like, all right, great.
I think it all boils down to like what your definition of companionship is. Like for me, I think my definition of companionship is like, oh, you're like my ride or die, right? Like with my companions, with my friends, I like them to be very close knit. I can tell them everything. I can trust them with everything. That is my definition of companionship. But I think if they're like a friend, or like if they're like a homie, or if they're like a cool little advice giver, like I do think AI does that great. Like again, I have a friend that used AI to plan out their like ski trip, and it's just mint. Like it's better than something like a human could have put out, you know? So I think it's all about picking and choosing what part of companionship you want from AI, you know?
Okay, but hear me out though. Let's say I saw on Reddit, right? Or like on TikTok. Someone was like, "Oh, insert this prompt into like ChatGPT, and it'll literally tell you everything about you, like stuff that you maybe even didn't realize, like a form of therapy, right? Be like, oh, imagine like you're like I forgot the prompt, but like it's telling like it's like a really long prompt where like you're asking ChatGPT really specific questions and be like, what do you think? What type of person I am, or like, you know,
like a personality test kind of.
Sort of like analyzing your personality. And then the thing is, I tried it, right?
Okay.
And then I was like, because like, the comments were like, wow, it's so accurate that I'm probably stopping my therapy sessions. And then like a lot of comments are saying like, it's scary how much ChatGPT understood them. But then the thing is, I tried it myself and then I read it. I'm like, because I use ChatGPT a lot for like random stuff and for work. Like I don't tell ChatGPT my feelings. I only did it like once.
Yeah.
And then so when I was looking at it, I was like, I guess, but it wasn't really accurate. Like it was just based on the stuff I asked them before. And I use it for like books. Like the books I'm reading, like analyze the books I'm reading.
I see.
I was
see.
Huh? Like, oh yeah, you're like a very determined person. Like
you always read. Stop reading. Eat some food.
It's like I was just like I guess like I don't know, like I it didn't really work well on me. And then I'm curious, like if you were to use it, like what would
it would be like, grammar is your life. I told you for the last time. This is how you use a hyphen. That's just gonna be
you know,
all
I kind of want to see you like use it.
Yeah, sure.
Because like I asked it after using ChatGPT as like a vice, so that it got some of the points like right.
Okay.
But overall, it was a little off.
Was it off or was it like broad? Because you know how like when you read like
horoscopes.
Yeah, horoscopes. It's like, oh, you're in for a great day.
Oh, like you're such
there's
Aries.
There's gonna be positivity in your life, you know? Yeah.
Because you're a Leo, or like you're a Cancer, right? Because you're
I am a Cancer actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a Cancer.
Oh.
Wait, which definition are you talking about?
No,
Oh yeah, I'm a Cancer. Yes, I am.
He's a medical cancer.
Stage 4.
You look up your symptoms and a picture of Matthew comes up on WebMD.
WebMD. It just has my picture.
And his full name.
Yeah. So would you like me to try it?
Yeah, maybe we should try it next time.
Okay, let's try it. Because I am very curious.
Wait, now? You want to try it now?
No, we can try it next time.
Okay.
Tune into our short when we try that.
Yeah, because I'm actually very curious, and there was like more and more people have been writing prompts about this. So like, oh, use this prompt to like get like to know your weakness. Have like ChatGPT identify your weakness or your strength, like just everything, right? And then I did it as well. I'm like, I guess sort of, but again, like I think as someone with like a psychology degree, I think it could be like a Barnum effect.
Barnum effect. What is the Barnum effect?
The Barnum effect is like, you know how like for horoscope or like for like MBTI, like, you know, people are like saying, oh yeah, like people who are like ISTJ or INFJ, they act in a certain way, like A, B, C, D.
And then
but then those are very generic examples, right? Like very generic information that could really be applied to anyone.
Wow. Yeah.
So then I feel like to some extent it could be like that too. Like where, you know, people are like, yeah, wow, you know me so well, because people are saying like, yeah, ChatGPT knows you well. So you already implemented that idea that it might know you really well too, you know?
Look at you bringing psychology into the IRL podcast. I like that. Yeah, I do think a lot of people are definitely swayed by stuff like this, right? Because like, they're looking for something, right? Like when you type it, you're looking for ChatGPT to say something that you are, and you're like, oh, I am that. But maybe that is like broad as fuck, right? Yeah. But I think that the whole diagnosing you thing, I think is a step in the right direction, because like I feel like with the way AI is going, at some point you're gonna not just use AI for book reviews, or like you're not gonna just use AI for when to use a hyphen. Right, you're gonna start using it for every part of your life, and I think then it can diagnose you like a mother, like so well, because you're literally using it every day, right?
Yeah, but you know it's funny because I tried asking ChatGPT. I'm like, Should I see you as a friend, a therapist, or a fortune teller?
Ooh.
And then it literally gave me the answer as it's best to see me as a friend because I don't have like a degree. I'm not licensed to be a therapist. Like while I have the data, I'm still not fully like licensed to help you.
That's
and then
right.
fortune telling, it's really dependent on the person, right? Because like not everyone believes in fortune telling. So they're like, we can help you to do it for fun.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't rely on me. Which was really interesting that they wrote, like ChatGPT gave me that response. I'm like, honest response.
No, that's great. Like never, I do think you're right. Never rely on it. I don't think you should rely on it just yet.
Yeah.
But like having fun, like like I said, I would love to see what ChatGPT thinks about my personality. But I'm not going to go around being like, ChatGPT said I'm selfish. So, like that's just what I am. Like, I know what I am,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, and then like I even tried to argue with ChatGPT. I'm like, oh, but you have so much data, you have so much like access to like a lot of like research about like mental health or like different informations about these. You could technically be a therapist, right? Because of all that like knowledge. And ChatGPT was like, yeah, I can simulate a supportive and reflective conversation, but I'm still more like a companion for you, not a replacement.
You go, girl. ChatGPT is good.
Yeah,
it's a good guy.
I don't know if I trained it to be like
Good.
to debate with me.
Oh.
Because I like to debate with ChatGPT.
Oh,
So I don't know if it's because I trained it to like debate with
interesting.
me, but I was like, I kind of like this answer.
What I do with ChatGPT is like sometimes when I'm like bored or like when I want to get my mind going, I play like word association games with it, or like like a word ladder where you like just change one letter and make it into another word. And I never win because it's ChatGPT, right? Like they have the English language right in front of them.
Yeah.
But I just, that reminded me of it, like because you like debating with ChatGPT, and I like playing word association games. But it's always nice to, that is companionship, right?
Yeah.
Because at the time I didn't have anyone to play this game with, in the same way like you're debating, and that's I would say that's companionship, being able to just have conversations back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. And then like I was also thinking about this, right? Like as a kid, would I enjoy having ChatGPT, right? Because like I don't know for you, but as a kid, I would have like invisible friends.
Oh, I had two. I had two invisible friends.
Yeah, and then like I'll literally sometimes just talk to myself.
Well, you're talking to the invisible friend.
Yeah, well, basically, if my parents see me talk.
What was their name? Don't want to assume.
I don't think I really had a name for them.
Oh.
I'll just like start talking.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it will be like a back and forth conversation in my head sometimes.
No,
But then like
yeah.
But then so my question here is like, I guess we should ask a kid about this. Like,
Yeah.
do kids still have like imaginary friends?
That's a great question, because there's so many
Like
directions, like places for you to like
there's
put
technology,
your,
there's like your computer, your phone, like games. Like are kids still creative in real life?
Yeah, that's a great question, because like for me, right, I grew up reading books. I think I grew up reading books, and I think what reading books did is like, it's just words. It's giving you a few words, but you're kind of painting the narrative in your head, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when I played Minecraft, what I did, I didn't just play, put a block down. I would build like a narrative in my head. So that is a very good question. Like, do kids still do that with these games?
Yeah.
Or is it purely just like, let's play like Capture the Flag, or like,
That's like a whole different generation. Maybe we should do some interviews with kids.
I shouldn't do an interview with a kid.
Okay. What are your thoughts about imaginary friends, and how many did you have?
Well, so she had one, nameless. I had two. It was Jason and Charlotte. Why? because Charlotte's Web, and I really like the name Charlotte. Like it sounds very posh. You know, I wanted one with a little posh side. You know, and the other one was Jason because I think Jason is the most badass name.
Jason
Like I would
Statham.
love to be called Jason. You know, so Jason was like the cool one. So I'd be like, oh hey Jason, like what have you been up to?
Oh, and also you're like the only kid, right?
I was the
Like,
only child, yeah. So I needed friends.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't have imaginary friends, but I always talked to myself. So I guess I was my imaginary friend.
Wait, you didn't have an Are you an only child?
No, but yeah, I didn't like me and my like siblings. We played separately for most of the part.
So yeah, so you didn't have an imaginary friend and you just talked to yourself?
Yeah,
What would you say?
or like you, like I would have like like a model, like an aircraft model, or like a Gundam, be like, "Choo, we're going to Earth."
Yeah.
Like,
Bro,
I
that
did
shit's fun, man.
did you do that, Dennis?
I don't remember. I just
That's great.
I just self-reported.
That's crazy.
No, I mean like when playing with toys, yeah, like I used to be obsessed with the Ninja Turtles, and I would like pretend I would be a part like with other Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you're
as I was
the
playing.
fifth one.
No. I was like Michelangelo.
Is that your favorite one?
That's
the
my
goofy
favorite.
one?
Yeah, the goofy one.
He's the cool one.
I wanted to be, so I always like got his stuff and then pretended like there were other Ninja Turtles with me, like Leonardo, Raphael. But
I love Ninja Turtles.
but yeah, I wouldn't go so far to say that I talked to myself or I had imaginary friends. No,
Okay, so
That's the
you
most
I guess I'm the odd one out here.
No, wait, but no, you did have imaginary friends. Your imaginary friends would be the other turtles.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I define imaginary friends like like creating, manifesting a Charlotte or a Jason into my life.
Okay.
You know,
That's my definition too. But
Yeah.
I didn't. I just talked to myself and my toys.
I talk to myself. I don't think that's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone talks to themselves, right?
Some people like manifest their friends into like a plushie, right? Or like a right, like a toy or like a Barbie, right?
Oh yeah.
Like some people put it into their like sorry, pause. Some people like put their imaginary friend into a like a plushie, like a toy.
Put your friends into a
Yeah. They take the ghost of the imaginary friend and then they throw it into like a plushie doll. So it's like,
okay.
yeah, whatever. Right? I had a blanket. Jason was a blanket.
Is it still around?
Yeah. I'll dead ass. I'll bring Jason next time.
Okay.
And Jason's personality is more like Raphael. He's like kind of cool. Just letting you know. Just letting you guys know.
Is Raphael your third imaginary friend?
I can't.
He's revealing one.
No, Raphael from the
Ninja
the
Turtles?
Ninja
Ninja
Turtles.
Turtles. Oh,
Yeah. Maybe we should invite Jason as a guest next.
Oh, as a producer, I need to mic Jason.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is such an interesting, like, I wonder if I'm sure kids still have imaginary friends, right?
We should try asking.
Let me ask my little cousin.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all we have for this episode?
Yes.
Woo! Thanks for watching IRL Season 2. Let us know in the comments if you have any other questions or like, if you have any opinions about what we talked about, please let us know.
If you agree or disagree, or if you use ChatGPT as a friend therapy.
What if they just reply with ChatGPT answers? They just copy and paste their ChatGPT responses.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.